Hello and welcome back to an Arsenal Editor podcast. Yeah. Hope you're all right at home.
Yeah.
We are chipping away at that delicate lead that we do have. Could have been 9, could have been 12 if we'd gone the distance.
Keeping it close. Keeping it exciting.
I think we just want to make sure it's exciting. Rory, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I've stayed off every single type of social media.
Yeah.
I've turned off the notifications on my WhatsApp. It's really nice. I'm living in this.
Genuinely, mate.
I'm living in this tiny chamber of no noise, and it's very serene, very peaceful. But it's not quite reality, is it? And
No.
the problem Arsenal fans have, I think, at the moment, is that we are. And we put this question out on Instagram about how mentally exhausted everyone is, even now. And I think the results were like 95% saying, yeah, it's knackering. And it's not even the end of January.
And we're not even the players.
We're not, exactly.
Like, genuinely.
Exactly.
And I actually wrote this down in my thing to bring up today. It's coming up quite early. It's
Yeah.
just like, if we do win the league, is it even going to be fun? Or are we just going to go, I'm going to bed?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be tiring, man. Jesus.
But I was thinking about this, like, we are obviously exhausted already from just the constant, like, tidal wave of emotions you go through during a game, especially when we're playing the Premier League. When we're playing in the Champions League or the FA Cup or the League Cup, it's very different, and we'll get into that because I do think there's a noticeable difference in terms of the way we play and the mentality of the players, and it feels like it's much more of a release from the pressure of the Premier League. But it's just no other fans of other clubs can't really understand exactly what we're feeling. So when things happen like the booing and social media goes absolutely berserk.
Did it?
I've
literally not even. I've not opened.
Of course it did. I mean, I had a flick through as soon as it happened, and I mean, if you in black and white, if we're 4 points clear of the lead, we're in 4 cups, we lose one game, and fans start booing. It doesn't look good on paper, but I think you have to kind of just roll back a little bit. We are, as fans, so scarred by what's happened in the past few seasons, by coming so close, dealing with injuries. Of course, every team has injuries, but it has derailed us. Also, we didn't have the squad. And there's now the opportunity to extend the lead to a point which is almost unheard of at this point in the season. And we're just not doing it. And it hasn't. And we've had the chance to do it in 3 games, and it hasn't happened. And everyone can see that there are clearly issues in attack, and we are very heavily reliant on set pieces, and that is starting to show now. And I think it's just the fans on the booing. I think it's just the fans' way of expressing that change needs to happen from either selections or intensity or discussions to happen behind the scenes about how to deal with pressure, how to deal with momentum, because the fans are so desperate for this this lead not to slip. Because if it does, we're in a bit of trouble. And the fans, as every fan is getting, stick from friends on WhatsApp groups, you look on social media, everyone's saying if we bottle this now, it'll be a lifetime of, ammunition that we can give on you. That plays on your mind when you're watching a game, especially when you're at the Emirates, and it is now quite an unhealthy place to be unless Arsenal are winning at half time. Because there's so much anxiety and so much stress pent up in that stadium, as I'm sure you saw and felt down where you were. I was right at the top, you were down at the bottom. It's not helping the players at all.
Yeah.
And we need to, and we can get into this a little bit, because I want to talk more about how Arsenal fans can or need to just relax and simmer down, because it's not helping the players. But at the same time, we are getting it from all angles when we go away from the games, when we come away from the Emirates, when you click on social media, when you click on Twitter. So I'm not surprised that people felt the need to boo. You can't tell people.
I don't think that many people did, but obviously when
It was
they
very
do,
vocal. I mean,
it was vocal,
it was
but
loud.
like-
It was loud in the stadium where I was, but it could also be a minority. I mean, sound echoes. Obviously, that's a very it's a very unique sound. So
Well, it's a grumble and a boo. Like people are the most angry they'll be at that point, and the most disappointed they'll be. They'll do something that people say a lot of things they don't mean at football matches. Like I don't think it's that, but you're talking about this pent up frustration, and it's that feeling of being so close to being so far away, and suddenly we're at touching distance from someone overtaking us, despite it being 4 points. That's what hurts. You know, on the bare bones of it, you know, you look at a Liverpool team who are struggling. Came here, we started well, didn't get the chance, and then they dominated us for the rest of the game. Basically, the second half was just all Liverpool. I know, in between games, and then Forest, 15th in the league, 17th in the league, can't remember, but it's low. We again, you can draw away to Forest. It can happen to any team. You can draw at home to Liverpool, and ultimately you can use to United. It happens. But all three, when ultimately United even have a caretaker manager, when you have the opportunity to go 9, 12 points clear, really the opportunity, as and when then it happened just between the last two games. Obviously, last night was slightly different. That's when the frustration comes, and it hasn't happened in so long. I don't think we've really collapsed before. I don't believe in that. I don't think we've bottled it before. I think this would be a bottle, if you can call it that. I don't think it would be the biggest in history. 7 points ultimately isn't that big at this stage of the season. It really isn't. We've seen United, I think, gain 9 points before from this stage of the season. We've seen United gain 7 points on City City gained 7 points on United. Remember that season with Aguero with just 6 games left. We've seen Liverpool lose an 8-point lead with 3 games left. Right. You know, these things can happen, right? 7 points isn't that crazy. What's the disappointing thing is that nobody's been performing. And so the upsetting thing is it's like they're giving us every opportunity to do this, and we're not doing it. And it's missed chances, freezing in front of goal, defensive sloppiness, fear in the middle of the pitch. And I actually really disagree with what... I think fans can do more and they can always do more, but I think they're right to be nervous. And I don't mean because of the 20-year pent-up attitude, which is a thing. I think it's the players are playing nervous first. You look at last night. Last night. So we were playing amazingly, right? Supportive atmosphere, on the back, great. We score the goal. Suddenly it's euphoria. It's like, great, full support. And I remember there was like 3 or 4 crunching tackles that we did after that goal. We're on the front foot, great. And then sloppy pass. Saliba lets Fernandes through on 1. Another sloppy pass. 5 sloppy passes. Cannot string. Now the crowd are nervous because we've seen it before. The players are mentally seem to be waning a bit. Zubmendi does that, and of course we're nervous. We've just seen what we've seen 100 times before, not just throughout the season, but like in a game. And I think what's sad about it is like that's not the first game. That's not the first game that's happened. We've got away with it against Wolves. We've got away with it, I think, against Bournemouth, like where games should be put to bed. At about we go to sleep after we go in the lead.
Yeah.
And so if we're going to sleep after we go in the lead, we are ultimately leaving ourselves open to this, and we've got away with it, or we've defended well enough to get away with it.
Yeah.
And last night, ultimately, it was 2 screamers. That after that goal we gave away after being in the lead, it was 2 screamers, and United did really well. Credit to them. But ultimately, it's like there could have been 2 screamers against Bournemouth. There could have been 2 screamers against Wolves. It could, places where we should have control, which we're supposed to be good at, and haven't. And that's where the nervousness comes from. And I can't remember the last game was relaxing, and that is on the players. I think we can do more, but I kind of think there's a reason why the fans are nervous, and I think it's an anxious place to be. And I agree with that, and I think that you can be more supportive, but ultimately we're not good enough in attack to not warrant being in control of a game.
No, I agree.
So
can I play devil's advocate?
Yeah, devil's avocado. Go for it.
Not that I agree with this, but Liverpool game was played in a name storm, which I'm not saying is a reason why we should not win.
We
It's
mustn't forget it was raining.
exactly, but it was the conditions were horrific. Forest away when they had their back line and Sells back for the first time, probably all season, maybe at the beginning of the season, but it was definitely like it was a very noticeable. And this was a team that came 5th last year, whatever it was, 6th last year, and were formidable in defence. Hence why everyone had them in their different players in their fantasy team. And then a United team where we gifted them a win, and they had
I agree.
one mistake and then 2 worldies, and that is the fine margins of the Premier League. And as I say, I don't necessarily believe that, but also I think there is. I don't think it's the right way to think about it because we're trying to win a title, but I think also it does. There is a 10%, 15% element of that has to come into the conversation that I think that fans just will forget.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I agree with all of those individually, but not together. If you're trying to win a league,
No, I agree. Well, this is where it needs to change.
it's like if you're trying to win a league, at least one of those is a win. Like, and don't get me wrong, this could be just a sticky patch.
Yeah.
And I think it probably will end up being just a sticky patch. And I actually think that other people will also go through sticky patches. So it's like Villa and City will have similar things and have had similar things, right? So I'm not saying that this is the end or anything crazy like it, but it's just a shame when we're not going to make that progress. And we've turned corners before. We've got the squad to do it.
Okay. So we haven't spoken at all since the game ended.
No, not at all.
So let's break it down.
Yeah, let's go for it. I mean,
for me, the glaring issue is at the moment we're not creating enough chances, good enough chances. Every single attack we had would either be passed out to the wing, or the build up would be so slow it gave them a chance to get back into formation, and then defend as a solid unit.
Well, my opinion on that is we would. And rightly so, if we're going to play this way, baiting the players in, playing it around the back to break the press, to give us space.
But we can't play on the break. We've forgotten how to play on the break.
But this is the point. We beat the press, which we did really well for the first 30 minutes so many times. Or even throughout the game, I think we did it really well. Zubimendi had that one mistake, and we had that patch. But we beat the press, and then we beat it. And then we would wait for them to get back and just play the low block anyway. And I think if you're going to bait people in and beat the press, you may as well go and beat it and then go and actually play with the space you've got, rather than waiting for everybody to get back, having beat the press. Like what's the point in even baiting them in the first place?
Exactly. And then what happened was, especially where I was, because we were playing so much at the back, and at that point, say 75, when we were 2-1 down, going for a goal, and we're trying to bait them into a press, and at that point, there are certain passes that are still sloppy. It just gets the fans up even more, and it gets more and more annoyed, more and more shouty, and it just doesn't help. It's this cycle of just annoyance from the fans leading on to the players. But there's so many different ways you can go about this. I don't think the left wing is clicking. I don't think Odegaard is playing as a 10. For some reason, he's playing as an 8, and he's gone missing. You look at his pass map the other day, or today I saw it.
What was it?
Most of his passes were sideways backwards. The only ones that were forwards, he didn't complete. And I could honestly count about 4 passes forward out of whatever, 58 minutes. He's not influencing the game. I love the man. I am such a big fan of his. I think he has been fantastic for the club. I think he's been fantastic as a captain. But this is where you need your captain to stand up, and take games by the scruff of the neck, or influence play, or influence those around you. And the moment he's going missing, and we cannot have that in this position, where I don't know if he didn't used to be a confidence player. He always used to be a 7.5 out of 10. At the moment, he's playing like a 5.5, 6 out of 10.
I agree.
At max, and he's not playing in a role where we need creativity. The glaring hole is in the middle of the park, feeding balls through directly, not out wide, directly through the middle, through the lines.
Yeah.
And we're not getting that.
I think what I found really interesting is that I think people didn't think Eze had a good game and things like that. And I don't think he necessarily had a bad game. But I just loved the difference between when Odegaard went off and Eze was on. Everything was forward, passing into the middle, and it wouldn't always work. But I didn't care when we lost the ball trying to feed the ball into the box. And I thought that was just the kind of energy that we needed. And actually, you know, you look at all of the stats in terms of match momentum. I know this is not important because clearly it's not a goal, but like, you know, match momentum, areas we're getting into, touches in the box. Great. Like, we did all of those things really in a game against Manchester United that you should be able to do. Well, that is a very credible thing to be able to do against. Ultimately, is like, it is still United and it's always a derby still. But the damning stats for me, from a creativity standpoint, but actually from a this is the thing everyone's seen it from an output standpoint across the whole front 4 or 5, is Saka, no goals in the last 13 appearances. Victor Gyökeres, 0 non-penalty goals in the last 11 Premier League appearances. Gabriel Martinelli, 0 goals in the last 13 Premier League appearances. Noni Madueke, 0 goals in 25 Premier League appearances. And of course, Trossard in 1 goal in 11, of course, all competitions. So he, you know, they've cherry-picked stats a little bit based on competition, but ultimately it's not good reading. Mm-hmm. And
makes you wonder how the hell we're first.
It does. And I think this is the thing. Ultimately, you know, actually, if you think about this, we've been complaining about attack a lot. And something that I actually thought of is that I felt so spoiled. I don't know about you, for like the last maybe 3 podcasts where we've sat there and we've taken apart having been 7 points clear, top of the Champions League, all this sort of stuff. But there was an underlying feeling, and the thing that we were moaning about, I felt really spoiled about moaning about, that things weren't quite right. The attack wasn't quite clicking. Set pieces, sure, great. But like control, but conceding chances and conceding goals when we were very comfortable, this sort of stuff. Like, I felt very spoiled. But the reason why that is because we saw problems that could potentially come home to roost, and that's what's happened. So yeah, I think that's basically
still in the, again, being devil's advocate, in the 3 games where we've dropped points, 2 clean sheets still.
2 clean sheets, and we won an XG every time. And I know that's not won a trophy and all that, but like,
I know, but then one game where one of the worst mistakes you'll ever see at the Emirates happened, and then 2 goals that were 1 in 5,000 in terms of like ball striking. Yes. That doesn't happen.
But I actually. But my worry is...
But I agree. I completely agree.
There's 2 things to that, though. I think my worry isn't necessarily the clean sheet side of things. Like, we conceded 3 goals, which isn't us at all, and we actually looked like we were going to concede 3 goals as well. My worry is it's not the chance creation, yes, but ultimately we've scored 2 goals in this game, and then we should have scored quite a bit in the others, given the XG and the chance we've created. Again, you can question how they were created, and was it set pieces and all that sort of stuff, but my fear is the freezing in these high leverage moments. Again, you know, these players look terrified when it gets to the final bit, all of them. And I'm gonna make my stamp now. I said it last week. I'm gonna say it again. We don't look perfect with Mikel Merino up top. Far from it. But when he's there, he has the mentality and he's just an adult on the pitch, calm, to be able to put a ball away, make the right decision, be physical, trap a ball. And don't get me wrong, I don't think we look perfect, but I think the best version of Arsenal at the moment has Mikel Merino in the team. Mm-hmm. I think up front, just because of where we're lacking and the options we have in midfield. But I really, really believe that. And I just think, again, we're not going to look necessarily as fluid. We'll look more fluid than we would with Gyökeres. And I think he was all right when he came on. But I just think he does so much coaching on the pitch, calmness. He's kind of what I kind of think Ødegaard used to be on the pitch, you know?
Yeah.
In a way.
Are you the self-appointed chairman of the Mikel Merino for Striker Association?
Why not? I am.
Tell you what, mate, you've grown a party member, because I am.
Wow.
I am.
I said it last week.
I am firmly in that camp, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me for why.
He started 6.5 games as striker this.
You got maths to back up my chairmanship.
I do.
Hit me.
He started 6.5 games this season as striker in the Premier League, actually, and Champions League. Mm. He has produced, and those games were against Slavia Prague away, Sunderland away, Spurs, Chelsea, Bayern, Brentford, and then half a game against Villa. Mm-hmm. So not easy games in Slavia Prague. I mean,
sure.
I mean, it's still away. It's not the easiest game. Sunderland away, still quite tricky. You know, it's a tough game, tough place to go to under the lights. Brentford flying high, and then you've got Spurs. Oh, yeah, fine. Chelsea, Bayern, and then Villa.
Yeah.
4 goals, 3 assists in those, whatever it is, 6.5 games. you got to
And-
start him.
and-
You've got to
and-
start him.
And the results in those games, given how structurally secure we were and everything, I just you can't look past that. And
I mean, the only thing is we did draw against Sunderland and we did draw against Chelsea, but he did score against Chelsea as well. But
yeah,
I just think he's given us more in that striker role than I've seen during Marina's period as a striker. He's given us more in that time than I've seen from Gyökeres. Jesus is different because I guess it's small sample size, but I just feel more comfortable with Marino up top.
I just don't think we're a team that plays with a striker. I don't think we need to force ourselves to. And to be fair, we played with Jesus yesterday, and I think that's fine. He don't think he had a best game or anything.
Do you know what? Do you know what I think it is? I think because we've played a year of Havertz out, and last year, the second half of last year, we had to adapt to playing with Marino up top, and I just think we're still stuck in that rut.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Not being able to adjust to playing with a free flowing or a direct number 9. I really do. I think we're so used to playing in this way, hence the slow build up, hence breaking the line, and then the opportunity to try and drive forward. We don't. We just pass it forward and then let the opposition just get back in shape, and then it's sideways, round the horseshoe, round the box, cross in, goalkeeper claims it, and it's just like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, come on.
But I don't. Do you sometimes think that we're sitting here as Arsenal fans, and sometimes again I feel so spoilt. We are 4 points clear at the top of the league.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm not going to go through that list again. Everyone knows where
Well,
we
we're
are in
not
the
naive to the
competitions,
fact
but
that it's so delicate.
But so exactly. But from Arteta's point of view, like he's got us there, wherever that is at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. And I just can't really fault that necessarily. But I sometimes think maybe when you are so wedded to structure, and I think he's got quite a few structures. I don't think he's a one-trick pony or anything like it. But sometimes when you are wedding to system football, you kind of leave yourself exposed to being figured out. And when you get figured out and don't have a chaos option, what else do we do?
Yeah. Well, I think he needs to bring in an attack coach. I really do. He needs fresh brains for attacks.
Nicholas Jova.
Yeah. Well, just someone else. Just someone to get in his ear and be like, if you're going to play with a direct runner who likes to get in behind, give him a chance to get behind.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
do feel like there is a part of me that feels bad for Gyökeres, but there's also a part that thinks he's just not been good enough.
That last chance.
Yeah.
I think that would have been overruled because, he gave the free kick.
Sure.
Because, it ended up going nearly out for a throw-in.
Well, did you see the reports that we've been linked with Alvarez?
I think that's for the summer, isn't it, though?
Yeah, for the summer, not now.
Oh, yeah, that's the perfect one for us.
I think that we would get rid of Jesus.
I think we'd get rid of Gyökeres as well.
Do you think? I don't think we would.
Do you not think?
I don't think we would. Do you know what I found mad is that we put that stat out on Instagram where people voted, and thanks for voting if you're listening. So we did on this. We put a question out saying, "Is it time for Marino up top?"
Yeah. What do people
Have you
say?
seen the stats?
I haven't seen the stats.
I was shocked a little bit because I thought this would be way higher.
What was it?
So 53% said yes.
Okay.
47% said no. I thought, given what we've seen, that would be in the 70s.
Well, I think people still feel like he's a defensive midfielder, and I think I think if you have Mikel Merino up top, I think you still have to accept that it's not going to be perfect for every game.
No,
but
he makes people around it better.
And ultimately, if it's not going well in that game, you make a sub for Jesus, or you know what I mean. So,
so the second question was, do you think we need to buy a striker in summer? Which is kind of crazy thinking about that.
We're back again.
again.
Striker and left back.
Exactly, we're back again. Every year, baby. So we put it out there, and so 61% said yes to getting a striker in the summer. 39% said no. I then asked, if you want to get a striker, who would you get? And we've had so many responses, and I'd say 90% say Alvarez.
But I think he'd be the perfect fit.
Yeah, I think we were hell-bent on getting this muscular big,
Yeah.
direct runner, and
why.
we just don't. If we're going to play the way we are now, well, it's pointless. What's the point?
Let's take a step back though. Like, forget the phrase striker, because I don't think we need a striker. We need someone like an Alvarez who's kind of that 10
You could just
striker sort of.
fashion a chance
Yeah,
for himself,
exactly.
which we just haven't had.
Well, you say that. Well, sorry, we haven't had, but I'm sorry. You've got Eberechi Eze, you've got Martin Odegaard, you've got Bukayo Saka, you've got Leandro Trossard, you've got Victor Gyökeres who scored 50 goals last season. That individually, all of those people are on the pitch at one point, stinks of goals.
Yeah.
Where are they?
Yeah, but when was the last time someone
No,
beat
but-
a man a shot
But
and scored?
my point is, they were all doing it at some point. Like Gyökeres, I'm sorry, for whatever you think of him, he scored 50 goals last season, and ultimately we are a team that is just as dominant as Sporting were.
Yeah.
Are you telling me you can't get like 5 or 10 more? Like, where are they? But, same
I'll
with
try and give you,
Saka.
I'll try and give you a very quick overview of why I think that's just not the case.
Yeah.
Gyökeres, we don't play to his strengths. We're not
agree.
playing him behind. He's getting drowned in the middle of the box, and he's not a player who can. If the ball's not coming across the box to him, he's never going to score. He's never going to fashion a chance for himself. Players aren't really looking for him. Sometimes it kind of feels. I'm not really buying that conspiracy yet, but it kind of does.
No, I know what you mean.
The more it goes on, the kind of more it looks like it is. He's also so low on confidence that, I mean, just it just doesn't look good. Eze looks like he's being overcoached. He's afraid of making a mistake.
Looked very Grealish, doesn't it?
Because he's now not starting. He knows that he can't. He doesn't have free reign to beat a man.
Yeah.
And then the next game think, because I lost the ball 3 times, I might actually not be able to start now. So now he's just playing safe. He's not even going for the shot anymore.
Yeah.
So that's taken away from him. And that's his magic. That's the whole point of buying him. Because you want him to take on a man and do something crazy. And he's not doing that at the moment because he's fearful of being probably benched or not starting the next 20 games. Which is kind of happy now. Who else is the honor? Jesus.
Well, even Odegaard, Saka, like
Odegaard,
my point is that, I mean, we're looking at these players who are that there's so many more goals in that team basically that we're getting at the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't have the answer to that. Look, we're defended against very differently in the Champions League, in the FA Cup, and in the League Cup. It seems to be slightly different. And I think there are loads of reasons, but ultimately, we do need attackers to start stepping up at some point because we're not going to win the league without it.
Because it's also, I mean, you look at the game yesterday, and there was so much space for us to go into.
Yeah.
And also, when we gave the ball away, most of the time they just boot it down, and it would just come straight back to us, to our defenders. So it's like, well, if you know you're going to get the ball back quickly, why aren't you waiting taking more risks? Why do you need to play this control-based football, which is going to give you a third of the chances, a third of the shooting opportunities? But
in theory, it stops them. Like 2 goals against United should be more than enough to beat them.
Yeah, with our defence for sure.
But we've been sitting here for 34 minutes talking about our attack, but ultimately it was I could say defence, but I actually think it was the midfield, the defensive solidity there, like that.
Certainly
lost
was
it.
the
I
third.
thought Declan Rice and Zubimendi were just woeful, to be honest. Like I've never seen anything like it. I mean, obviously Zubimendi the mistake, but you can attribute the first Cunha goal and the Dorgu goal. For the first 30 minutes, we were so sharp and on it and physical in the middle of the park, slide tackles, dominating the ball, that sort of stuff, and it just went after we scored, to be honest. But for those 2 goals specifically, Rice, Zubimendi, just like the weakness to be bundled through.
Marino was on for the Cunha goal.
Yeah, for the Cunha
and
goal.
They kind of fell into each other.
But it's like, I just think it's so weak. Like, and then suddenly we've got loads of space, and for some inexplicable reason, Gabriel decides not to close him down. And it's so hard to know because we don't know what we don't know. But I guess it's the second week in a row where we've looked at our drop points and wondered what the rotation midweek should have been like and if it would have made an impact. So I guess I'd like to know where you sit on that.
For midweek.
From Inter. Because
I get why he did it. To be in a position now where we can fully rotate against Kairat. Fuck me, if I see Zubimendi starting a game again against Kairat, I'm going to lose my shit because he's played way too many games and I mean, I'm not blaming that on the mistake, but it can't have helped. basically. Cannot have helped.
I agree.
He's
There's
played
mental
more,
exhaustion as well.
He's played more games than anyone else apart from Raya. And he needs a break.
Did he start against Inter?
Yeah, played full 90. He's
The-
been
the-
he's
the-
playing
sa-
everywhere.
same with Saka.
Yeah.
And we came here again and again. And we were on the podcast last week, and I was like, honestly, I know you say that we can rotate against Kairat, but I think we could be able to rotate against Kairat anyway. I'll be honest, I don't get why we did that in San Siro. I know we needed a big game. Maybe there's a confidence thing there, but ultimately we need 3 points with 2 games, having Kairat at home and Inter away, to secure that top 2 position.
Yeah.
Whether you're first or second literally makes 0 difference, right? I would have played the kids against Inter, rested for the big United game, which was so important.
Yeah.
And then just still rotate against Kairat, but just beat them comfortably at home. And
you forget also that Man U don't have a single European
there you
competition to go
like
into.
they were fresh. They were 7 days without a game.
Yeah.
Like they're off the back of City. I thought it was. I
I forgot
pretty
that,
stupid.
to be honest. I agree.
Zubimendi 90 minutes. What are we doing?
I'm gonna check
I actually didn't really mind Saka and playing a relatively strong side against Chelsea. Like, I really think the League Cup is important for us to a point, right?
Yeah.
Especially now that we're here. But Christ, we need to beat Leeds and then beat Chelsea to get into a final. Otherwise, it's going to be a what I'm seeing at the moment is a team that needs confidence. And we need that points gap in the Premier League, because if we're playing like this and having freezing and having midweek games and not rotating going into that final 10 games, we're not winning this league.
So I'll put it to this. I mean, I think the past 3 games have been a pretty tough 3 games to do.
Yeah.
They have. Especially in a very tight Premier League. People may say it's not been the best Premier League, but you can't deny it's not tight.
I actually think it has been the best.
Yeah, well,
The reason I say that is because it's the
most competitive.
I think the quality measurement people are asking for is basically is the top way better than the rest.
They want excitement.
Whereas the team in 17th could well easily beat the team first. Like, the quality and the money in the game. Someone said it's very similar to Serie A in like the 90s. But anyway,
the next 3 games are Premier League games. Leeds away, Sunderland at home, Brentford away, and you've got to be looking at 9 points.
Oh yeah, that's inexcusable not to get 9 points of those.
Yeah.
Given the last 3 again, you can
and
draw away,
and then it's Spurs away.
Yeah, 12. You have to.
Yeah, and then it's Chelsea at home, and then it's Brighton away, Everton at home, Wolves, Bournemouth at home. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 games, which are perfectly winnable. Chelsea being the outlier.
Yeah,
but you're playing them at home.
I just think we need to get our groove back. And we're
Mikel Merino.
Honestly. What else from the games did you pick up then? I'm curious to know. What did you think of
Ben White? Not great. Disappointing.
I wrote down throw-ins.
Mate, so did I.
So I don't know if it came across on TV.
I wrote down.
Oh my god, the speed of throw-ins with the lack of urgency, particularly from Ben White, was infuriating.
I wrote down new throwing coach ? So slow, more fan frustration.
Oh my god, that was something the fans did not like, and I kind of was one of them. We were 2-1 down, and they were just waiting.
Must have been like 5 minutes. Must have been 5 minutes we wasted just like waiting for someone to make a run. No one did.
I actually felt a bit sorry for Ben White because no one was moving. Because I think it's interesting.
No one was moving even when people had the ball at their feet and in just outside the area. Like, there was no movement at all.
It's strange, isn't it? We're talking about all these things, and ultimately this is a game where we were dominant, had more chances, played in their area of the pitch, lost to 2 screamers and a massive mistake. But we're actually picking the same holes in games that we've won because we've been worried they've been uncovered, and they have been. And one of those is, I do look at all of our set pieces, and like, it's hard to excuse it because obviously we do very well in them, but throw-ins and goal kicks and passing around the back, even, like, just where is the urgency? Where is it?
I mean, like, I'm going back to my football playing days. And if I'm not making a run, it's either because I'm knackered or I don't want the ball.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like for the first time in a while, that United game felt like a lot of players just didn't want the ball.
Yeah.
Hence the lack of movement, because you can't put that down to tactics.
No.
Because that's the most stupid thing I've ever seen for the like static, no movement. Let's try and score a goal. You could say they're knackered, but there's also no excuse for that given the squad we have. Like,
No.
That will lie on Arteta, but at the same time, if you don't want the ball because you're nervous.
Where do you attribute this mental fragility?
Social media.
But that's for every club.
No, it's different for Arsenal. I mean, but look at the Spurs. Look at Spurs.
Yeah,
Spurs
collapsed,
Spurs collapse, and they boo their own players. They boo their own fans, and it's just been downhill ever since the days of Harry Kane, Dele Alli, all the like the Pochettino games. The Pochettino times has just been downhill.
So I think the social media plays into the point where clubs who
100%.
The banter clubs or whatever you want to call it.
When Arteta came in, what he did really well, a bit like Southgate, is he repaired the relationship with the fans because it was really ugly, especially towards the end of Arteta and then towards the end of Emery. And he came in.
Wenger, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. End of Wenger and end of Emery. It was really ugly, and he came in and then repaired it. But it was ugly for a while, like when everyone thought he was going to get sacked. But he managed to pull it together. And as I say, the seasons when we were challenging for top four, and also the season where we came second kind of unexpectedly, but the Emirates was so supportive and got behind the team, didn't really mind if players made a mistake. And social media was you couldn't really see a negative thing about what was going on because it was a positive.
Ultimately you're on the way up.
Sure, but now it's every single way you look, be it either on Sky Sports or BBC or Twitter or whatever, WhatsApp groups, everyone is piling the pressure on. Everyone is creating a narrative that if Arsenal don't win the league this year, then they've bottled it and it will be a disaster, which it will be. But the only people creating these narratives are foreign people away from the club. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, well, actually, just on that, I have noticed particularly this week, there's been a huge... Because Theo Walcott asked, do you reckon this team would... how do you reckon he would get on against the 08 team? And obviously, Rodney said he'd batter the team, and he's probably right, because that's one of the best teams in history. But I haven't seen a single Arsenal fan say that we would beat them. Yeah. I haven't seen a single Arsenal fan say the word quadruple. I haven't seen a single Arsenal fan say treble, but everybody outside is saying it. And you just know that obviously when you do drop the line on this list, then not everyone's going to say, friends, what you said. It was like, well, show me an Arsenal fan said that, because they basically haven't.
I agree.
But look, ultimately, I think if we don't lose this one, unfortunately, like I do think this would be a bit of a bottle, unfortunately. And I actually don't think any of the other seasons were. Just given the fact that
I don't think
the opportunity to go 9 points clear twice.
I don't think it is. I think it is only. I think you could consider it a bottle job if it's towards the end of the season, not in the not in the middle way of the season.
But I think, do you know what? I'm not getting into definitions of bottles.
But I think that you can still lose it with 11 points. 11 points ahead in February.
Yeah,
we just haven't taken the chance 3 games in a row, which is frustrating. But you're playing still Liverpool, United, and a resurgent Forest team away at home.
I know, but we're looking to win a league here. And we've
I know this.
We've
got to also be kind of ruthless, but
it's not like the thing is though about these games is I don't. Actually, I think this is where the crux of it is, right? And this is where it's really upsetted the fan base most, is that this isn't a game where it's been to and fro or like they've been great, they've had chances, we've had chances, and we've just managed to get a goal, or they've just managed to sneak a goal in the last, no, against Liverpool, we were the dominant team, and somehow we just lost our heads, and Liverpool came back into the game, but ultimately this isn't a team that's doing that well. The Forest, we had the chances, number of open goals, good chances, and we froze. And I think that's the psychological element again. And then again, we were 1-0 up last night, and clearly psychology affected us massively. And I think that's where the worry is, because, I'm looking at those games and I'm thinking, if that's at the Emirates, 60 minutes in, 0-0, all of the games you just mentioned, I'm worrying about where, if a chance comes, I'm not confident anyone's going to score it. Now that changes, right?
Yeah. Whereas, do you remember when we were playing Bayern and we felt amazing? We felt
Yeah,
like we were the best.
Spurs,
We felt like
Bayern.
we were the best team in the world at
Yeah.
that point.
I mean, do you know what, mate? Even this week against Inter, and during Inter, and this is where fans can be fickle, including myself. Against Inter, I was like, oh yeah, we are really good, and maybe we just needed that game to remind ourselves, and maybe that's why he played the good players. I was still very annoyed about Saka playing 90, but and maybe that was the play. And hindsight's a wonderful thing, and a ball doesn't go in the net, and suddenly everything's wrong. If it goes in the net, everything's right. So yeah, I don't really know where to turn it. What did you think of the
Kind of stupid playing Saka 90 against Inter, but not
Don't.
playing against Forest. That doesn't make sense.
That makes no sense to me. None.
But I listed everything down that frustrated me yesterday about the game.
Oh god.
And
We've only got 15 minutes left, Rory.
but this obviously contributed to the booing, which is just things that happen in this game, and as we've spoken about, not things that happen on social media or previous games. Slow build up, frustrating. Passing to the flanks when we're in attack, frustrating. Sloppy passes everywhere, like all throughout the second half, like and halfway through the first half.
Yeah.
Like so uncharacteristic.
Do you remember when there was I think Mbuemo just took the foot off the gas when Declan Rice took a touch in the second half, and it basically went straight in his path, and he was through on goal, but he'd taken a step back, so he stopped running, and it basically ended up Rice being able to collect it. There was so many of those.
How many passes also where we were like running down, we got into their box, and then we tried to slide through either the fullback or Madueke or whatever, and then just pumped it out for a goal kick. Like the pass was way overhit.
So many times.
So the sloppy passes, playing around at the back unnecessarily when we're like that was towards the end. It was mind-blowingly annoying. Not using the space, no creativity in the middle of the park, slow throw-ins, subs not making an impact when they came on. I mean, 4 subs.
I actually really like that, and I think they did make a difference. I think if you actually look like the impact of the game and where the game was played and how many chances and where the crowd, after a few minutes, the crowd was back up and we were pushing for that equaliser. I actually think the reason why that equaliser came is because there was more shots that led to a corner.
I'm not going to lie, against that United team, I would have expected more.
I expected more.
From the subs.
But, I mean, ultimately, we weren't getting much from the previous lot.
No, I know.
And I think it was an improvement.
It's nearly half a team you're changing. And it's
I
just,
know.
You're talking about, again, Gyökeres against Martinez, who's 4'1", just bullying him. And he's knackered against Harry Maguire as well.
I know.
So again, so that.
But with that, I kind of think we needed fresh heads, not fresh legs.
Yeah, fine. So, okay, maybe I'll take that out. Then no fight or urgency.
No.
Against Man United, when you're going for the title.
I thought the only person that had any urgency was Gyökeres. I don't think he
Yeah,
was that good, but he
I
was
don't think-
all over
I
the
don't think he
place.
played it right, but he only had 5 touches.
I know. But like, don't get me wrong, I don't think he was great, but I think he was the only one showing any
Yeah,
urgency and fight.
I agree. The United time wasting since minute 1 was just fucking.
But they had the right to.
Of course they did, but
Because
it's
they
still
were,
frustrating.
yeah,
It still adds to the thing.
but they were, yeah, it does. But they'd earned the right because they were up,
Yeah, sure.
playing on the counter.
But it just builds, and
Yeah.
then the referee was not great.
No, he was terrible. I think probably for both teams. But
I don't want to use that as an excuse.
No, and also I don't think.
But it helps add to the pot of frustration.
Yeah, he was frustrating in that, for example, I don't think either of the handballs were handballs, but he was frustrating in that, the throw-ins where we would advance 10, 15 yards and he'd tell us to go back, but they would do it. They had an offside, like he kept telling us to put the ball back. We were offside. They took the ball about 10 yards into the opponent half, into our half, and took the free kick, and everyone was complaining, so hang on, it was an offside, it can't be in our half. Again, small things, but these things really rattle up when you're in a crowd.
Yeah.
And he keeps asking us to go back, and we're like, are you joking? And then I don't know how Casemiro wasn't booked. And anyway, all of these things. And you know what? Genuinely, credit to United, because I think they came with a plan, including to frustrate us, and to play on the counter-attack, and they absolutely executed perfectly.
How was the frustration down where you were sat?
High.
Was it?
Very high. Lots of shouting.
Yeah.
From lots of people.
Lots of people, because it's kind of quiet sometimes down there.
No, it was shouting.
Was it?
Particularly the last 10 minutes. Actually, to be honest, mate, after the Cunha goal, I have to say
the area we're talking about, by the way, is directly behind our technical area, where
right behind the bench. Yeah.
Yeah, right behind the bench, where I think it's not the loudest, to be honest.
Yeah, it's no, it's an interesting play, and it's a really really cool spot. I have to say, I do like sitting there. It's very kind of Josh obviously to invite me, and it's a really cool place, but
Because where I was
it is
sat,
quiet, yeah, but
which is halfway line, right, practically on the roof. It was loud from people shouting bad things at players.
well, when we scored, I fully thought we were going to go on and win the game.
Yeah, so did I.
fully thought.
So did I.
Like I was, that goal was I can't remember the last time I felt a proper sucker punch. That was.
But do you know what? Do you know what I heard? So I listened to On the Whistle.
Oh, I've not heard that yet.
Shout out On the Whistle, or it's called James Nichols, because he's sensational on YouTube, who gives a live instant feedback of the game in the stadium. And he was saying that when the second goal went in, he's starting to feel kind of embarrassed about the way that we are scoring goals. Again, I know this is. We are 4 points. We are top. We are in 4 competitions. But it was interesting because he is one of the most level-headed fans you'll hear from, and even he is saying, "I'm not sure I want to. I don't really want my team just relying on set pieces the whole time." Again, it feeds back into our attacking conversation, but it does feel like that now, where I kind of get why fans of other teams mention it so much.
Yeah, I think it's
even like Ahmad Diallo.
Yeah, whatever. But I also do think though, like genuinely, I think there is two sides of this. So firstly, I think there is a bit of a problem in form and somehow chance creation. But I do also think, don't forget, like we do score really good goals when people come at us and we do have a bit more space. Like you only have to look at the Champions League to know that, right? And we do score from corners, but I kind of think that's just our way of breaking open defenses when they play a proper low block against us, and all like people. And I think the other reason people play a low block against us because they know it does stifle our attack. So there's because we aren't necessarily good enough, but it is a problem. Like I have no idea where our goals are coming from.
So, just I guess looking forward, Kairat wholesale changes.
Oh yeah, we're top 2, honestly.
Yeah.
Marley Salmon, Gunnosaurus, Nicholas Yova.
Yeah.
Nwaneri back. Nwaneri
from
back.
Spurs.
Yeah. Can I ask you where you sit on the Nwaneri thing before we do man of the match take of the day and wrap up?
Yes, you certainly can. I'll give you an answer.
Can you give me an answer?
I think he's been unbelievably underused when he was at the club. I think he going out on loan is the wrong decision. I think he's exactly the player we need right now.
100%.
Someone who's actually not afraid of anything, to be honest. Someone's just not afraid and is willing to take a man on and shoot.
And he can beat a man and shoot.
Exactly, and shoot.
When did he do that last? Wasn't it? Oh, yeah, this weekend.
Just don't.
But you know what? Genuinely, if we're going to be using Nwaneri like this and just leaving him out squads and leaving him on the bench, this is the best thing for him. And it's best thing for us. Great. But I just don't agree with us using him that way.
No, and I don't think
like, he deserves.
I don't think there are many people in Europe who are as good as him in terms of what he does, which is beating a man, taking a shot outside the box, and whipping it in with that left foot, and breaking teams.
Genuinely, imagine if he was on the pitch yesterday, coming on the right wing.
We haven't seen him. He never got a chance to play in the Odegaard role in a full strength team.
I know,
and it makes you wonder why.
They must know more than we do. I mean, look, and I actually, unfortunately, one of the reasons I probably think is the fact that he probably wasn't the best in defensive duties.
But you've got, if you're playing a full strength team, you've got Declan Rice, Zubimendi, and that back four, and Raya in goal. Like, why do you need? You're afforded a luxury of a player to not eventually track back. And actually, to be honest, I don't care if he doesn't track back because I want my creative player playing as close to the striker as possible.
And I actually sometimes think that we can worry about people tracking back as a defensive action, but sometimes if you actually look at what Liverpool did when Salah was at his peak, the biggest defensive action they could do was leave Salah not tracking back, because guess what? That fullback is not leaving Salah on his own.
Exactly.
So he's not going to join the attack in the first place to even have to defend. I mean, obviously.
And then, lo and behold, he's 1-on-1 if the ball ever comes out to him. And how many breakaway goals did we score through him last year?
Every single.
Exactly.
So talk to me then. We've got 5 minutes left. Let's wrap up. Who was your man of the match? It's going to be a toughie, but.
Who was my man of the match? I don't know. The person who gave me my Bovril because it was fast, efficient, on time.
There you go. Okay.
Shout out to the confectionery people behind.
Mine's a facetious one. I'm going to go for Mikel Merino.
Yeah, not bad.
Because you think he was the only one that was a man on the pitch at any point, but also because of what we really needed more, I think.
No, I agree.
Who's your dick of the day?
Amad Diallo. Very big mouth for a man who's in 4th position.
Yeah, he's not like 19. He's like 25.
He's a knobhead.
I thought he was like this up and coming winger. No, he's like straight up 25. And
he needs to, he's quiet down.
My dick of the day is an Italian-American businessman called Frank Posilico. He's from Huntington in New York, and he invented something called Dry January. And quite frankly, the stiffness of drink that I was requiring on Sunday but couldn't because of my refraining for any alcohol this month to desperately try and get into shape, some kind of shape for my wedding. He really let me down that day, and I couldn't drink anything. So,
do you want to do we dare do a player rating?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Who do you want? All of them?
For all of them.
Okay, go on. Starting team only.
Yeah.
Well, I've actually already done this on my Finalysis. Little plug. So I'd be curious to know. Shall I read out mine, or this? I will compare it to what I've done to mine. So, where's my Finalysis? People that don't know, Finalysis is an app that I work with, run by weirdly Gary Neville and Michael McIntyre. I can't find my. Is this mine?
Shall we?
Let's go for it.
Shall I just read them out? Raya.
7. I don't think he did anything wrong. I don't think he could have anything more.
Timber.
5.
Saliba.
6.
Gabriel.
4.
Hincapié.
4.
Zubimendi.
4.
Rice.
4.
Odegaard.
3.
Saka.
5.
Trossard.
6.
Jesus.
4.
Ben White, who came on for Hincapié.
5.
Gyökeres came for Jesus.
6.
Marino came for Odegaard.
7.
Eze came on for Zubimendi.
7.
Madueke, who came on for Trossard.
5.
Arteta.
6. The reason I say 6 for Arteta is because, again, he set up the team so well, he dominated the game, and then for some reason, I really do put this on the players. Like, come on, mate. Like,
no, we've just spent half the podcast talking about how the attack is just dismal, and that's on him.
But we scored 2 goals in this game, and we were winning 1-0, having controlled the first 36 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the players, and I'm thinking, like, you're trying to win a league here. I'm not, the idea of them not being confident enough or not having the bottle or whatever you call it, it's on the players.
But he made 4 subs, which is
I liked those subs.
I know, but it's a strong indication that he got it wrong again.
But it's hard to say though that he got it wrong when for the first 36 minutes, basically the bit where you get to coach, and when you're you showing that you've set up the team and you have dominated so much, and quite frankly should have scored more than one. What, like, as a coach, like what more do you do in that scenario? I think he's given a big kicking in the second half. I think that again it made a difference. It was just individual errors, and I just don't know where you put that
if
to.
the team playing, if you're confident enough in your team,
I've said 6, not 10, by the way. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he was great.
No, but I'm saying that there is a common theme of him making extreme substitutes very early on in the second half, and again it just kills the rhythm of the
what rhythm?
Play. I know.
Yeah.
But it's got to a point now where we're doing it so often. How do you expect connections to start, relationships? Because we're still playing new players who are coming back from injury, or God knows what Havertz is, man. Also, we haven't talked about that, but
yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of telling, I feel, and he just needs to We need to get it right, and maybe it's a case of just having way too many players, ironically, and just having choice galore and choice paralysis almost.
Yeah. Yeah, and it did, look, hey, I do think it was a roll of the dice. I don't think it was anything clever. And I think he just went, right, I think he was like, I need some fresh heads on, not even fresh legs, but I don't know.
I think also we should explore playing Saka on the left and Madueke on the right.
Do you know what? I actually thought that before the game, but I was right in front of Saka when he came on. And I thought it was interesting.
Madueke.
Sorry, Saka when he came to the left. So I was on the left-hand side. And Arteta was in Saka's ear quite a lot, and I think he wanted Saka to go around the outside. And it seemed quite unnatural for him. I don't know why. Like, I actually didn't think it worked. I don't know why it worked.
The other thing, I forgot to mention this, the other thing I've seen more and more of is we are so used to, like, Saka, there's a lot being made of Saka's lack of goals. When he was scoring goals, we saw him come inside and Ben White go the outside.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing Timber come inside and Saka have to be playing outside.
That's really true.
Go around the wing. And it's drying up his goals big time. I'm kind of bored of the fullbacks taking up space where strikers should be.
Yeah, playing. How many times have you seen Timber where Odegaard's supposed to be? Or
exactly.
It's like, and then Odegaard's go deep and then
the thing is, all it does is bring the defender into the box. Do you know what I mean? If he's making a run into the box, it just brings him into the box. And when you got a player, it just congests it even more.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Conversation for another day. I think there's a lot to pick through. We've got Kyrak up in the week. We've got Leeds away next. Not an easy game. They're in form.
Is that under the lights?
It's 3 p.m. So thank God we could do with that.
And away from primetime TV, it might not be a bad thing for social media.
Yes, and quite frankly, nobody knows how on earth we're going to be able to watch those 3 p.m. kickoffs, do we? No, it's going to be very, very difficult indeed. Rory, thanks so much, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Everybody at home, thanks so much for listening. It's been a tough one. I don't really know we had a structure there. We did have a structure written down, but we kind of just
therapy.
It was therapy, you know, and a healthy conversation between some healthy lads.
Yeah. Thanks all for listening.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.